Hello, hello. Hey, what's up, folks? Happy Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday. Hey, happy Tuesday.
Somewhere in the world, it's Wednesday. I bet you. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, happy Tuesday or Wednesday, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you all joining us. I'm here with Anna Daviscourt today. My name's Annika, and I will be your host for part 2 with Anna Daviscourt. Anna is going to be working on motion in Adobe Fresco. So that's really exciting. Anna, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing just dandy. So excited to be here with you again. We had so much fun yesterday, so I can't wait to animate stuff today. Animation.
Yeah. Animation. Yeah. Thank you, Randall, for that. I also want to say hi to everyone in chat. We have Randall, we have Vanessa, we have Rin. Hey, welcome everybody. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please hop on over to Behance. This is where I will be reading the chat and I can answer all of the questions, ask all of the questions. Wait, answer? No, Anna will be answering the questions.
Answer, whatever. All the things.
Yeah. And other than that, if you are tuning in for the first time, we have a fun new set of streams. We have the Creative Cloud Express streams on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday mornings. So make sure to check those out with Julia Walker. She is actually working on very fun logos and banners in the app. It's a very easy to use web-based application. You can also use it on your phone. So make sure to tune into those. And you can also start your day with the Photoshop Creative Challenges with Wade Acuff, who is also in the chat. So make sure to tune into that. They happen every weekday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Tune in and challenge yourself and learn everything new every single day. But without further ado, Anna, do you want to maybe introduce yourself for those of us who did not join us yesterday? Show us a little bit of your work and then dive into what we're doing today.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. And also great job just like telling everybody what's going on. That was awesome. Hi, I'm Anna Daviscourt. I am a children's book illustrator and I make fun, whimsical illustrations. I stream here on Behance, so if you haven't caught one of those, then you're missing out, man. Annika also streams on here, so you should check out both of our pages. And we have some streamers in the chat also. We've got Ryan Selvey going on, and my co-host, Anthony Sims, is in the chat. I see you, Anthony. I see you. And yeah, the work that I do is usually very illustrative and kind of pushes the edge of messy and very colorful and whimsical. So yeah, we created an illustration yesterday that kind of fit that style. There's a lot of nature involved. We've got a kid looking up at the sky like, whoa. And I believe what we called it was like MC Escher-esque. Oh yeah, this is my website. If you want to see more of my work, it's annadaviscourt.com. And yeah, what we have since yesterday, we've worked on this, AKA I worked on this last night to make it a little bit more full. It's not completely done, but you can see kind of the style I'm going for. Lots of texture, lots of color. And we've got the reflection of the sky, which everybody said yesterday. What was it? MC Escher.
Folding foliage.
Yeah, folding foliage. Oh, yeah. So again, if you missed yesterday's stream, you can catch that in the replays and see this guy come to life. And today we're going to be doing something very special. And it's also in Fresco. I'm using the desktop version today, but you can use it on the iPad as well. It's the animation feature, which actually creates the ability to create frames within each layer. So we're going to be showing off a lot of the abilities that you can do in Fresco today. You excited?
That's pretty exciting. I am excited. I love the motion features in Fresco. If you guys don't know, Fresco is a free app that you can download on your iPad and your Windows devices. I'm sure Wade will be dropping a system requirements link in the chat. So if you want, you can download it and test it out for yourself. I know Anna mentioned it yesterday. If you have any illustrations that are old and you want to spark them with new creativity, you can join us today and learn all the tips and tricks from Anna and maybe make them move,
Absolutely. And the great thing is you can take so many different images and make them move. A perfect example of this is actually the promo that Annika made for this very stream. If you haven't seen it, go follow Annika on Instagram. Do you know your handle, what the whole thing is?
Yeah, it's just ANIKAAGG. Thank you. Hey.
Ooh,
I appreciate
it. Get on there. So yeah, in Annika's story, she made a little animation of us and saying like, "Oh, we're going live today." And even like, how many frames was that? Would you say that you made?
It was just 5 frames that I actually made, but then I changed the frame rate that I had in Fresco to change how slow or fast it was going.
Exactly, because you can control that and how that kind of creates the feeling you want it to be, either like poppy and slow or smooth and fast or whatever you want it to be. And that kind of thing, it brings so much life to any kind of piece. So it could be a really simple thing or it could be really complex, whatever you want it to be, really. So we're going to go through that and figure out what we want to do on this piece. I know that I want to start with a certain aspect of it, but everybody else is calling for frog. Chat wants frog. Chat wants frog.
Yeah, chunky frog. Yeah, let's do it.
Frog. Okay. If we want to start with chunky frog, then I'm going to zoom in here. I don't know of a good way to do it.
Also, I want to point out that at the 90-minute mark, we will be doing the artist spotlight. So make sure to stay tuned for that. We have a very special artist that we're going to be highlighting today. And if you want to nominate yourself or someone else from the community that you admire, make sure to go to the artist spotlight tab right above this chat where you can drop in all the links and they will be highlighted in a future stream.
Excellent.
And without further ado, Anna, let's do it. Let's make the frog move.
Make the frog move. I just learned, by the way, the desktop version of Fresco, to zoom in really quickly, there's this percentage at the top and you can just scrub over it. So that's really
nice.
Handy dandy. We're learning something new every day. So what I'm going to do, I think... Well, Ryan requested that the frog jumps in the water and swims around and like has bubbles coming out of his mouth or whatever. Guys, I am not a motion animator, anybody who does things that move. Okay, I dabble. I hardcore dabble. So I've made stuff move in the past, but I don't necessarily think I can do really extreme animations. So what I'm going to do is make very minimal things happen, but even minimal things can have a really good impact on an illustration, especially when you want to bring it to like this life that we're talking about, the illustration, but it's still an illustration. You want it to still feel like it's meant to be a still image. It's just got a little oomph to it. So what I'm going to do is use this handy dandy little button at the bottom called animation. It's got these little 3 circles and the little play button. So as soon as you click that, it makes what you're working on into a frame. Wait, actually, I think I'm gonna, sorry, one second. I think, what do I want to do? Do I want to make the separate part a animation or do I want to make the frame of the frog the animation? I think I want to have separate frames over the frog just in case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the color of the frog's little gullet here. My goal is to make it come out like, like it's ribbiting. So what I'm going to do is just paint it out here. This is with the pencil brush, and I'm just going to make one frame that has it a little bit out, and then I'm going to press the animation thing, the button at the bottom right, and then I'm going to make another frame, and you can see right now there's this dark area where I painted the previous frame, and that is the onion skinning. So you can see where you've animated already. So what I'm going to do is just paint over that, but even more exaggerated, where it's like, and I'm going to make more noises as we go. So get ready for that. And I'm going to make 1/3 one, and we'll just see what this looks like. Because again, I have no idea if this is going to turn out the way I imagine it. That's kind of the beauty of the play button. So I want this to happen again, but backwards. I also want to make sure that these fill in. So I'm going to go back here, make sure this is filled in so there's no gappage. And then I'm going to I can just either replace or replicate the previous frames and put them on the other end so that we can loop it. By the way, I should mention, we're going to create this as a looping animation. So everything that we start, we want to go back to the original. So it's kind of this whoop, 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 whoop. Does that make sense?
Nice.
Gotta have sound effects.
That does make sense. Yeah. Also, I know a lot of people are just joining us. So, hey to everybody. I obviously missed a lot of people, but I see Bliss. We see Anthony in the chat. And also Devin is joining us. Hey, welcome everyone. And if you have any questions, let us know. I will be sure to ask them. And if I miss them, I will definitely. Please don't fret for asking them again. Also, Anna, I have a question.
Oh, yes.
Was there a reason that you decided to use the desktop version of Fresco instead of just using this on the iPad?
That's a very personal answer that is only unique to me and my partner, James. So we have an iPad that we both use. And so we've been meaning to update it. But in order to update, we wanted to make sure all of our files were saved off of it first to make sure there was this thing about like, you might lose your files or something like that. So we're trying to get all of our files off of it. And we still haven't gotten all the files because we keep making new ones. So it's just this ongoing battle of like, we should take all the files off and like make sure that it's backed up. Always back up your work, friends. Always back up your work. Yeah. But that is why I have not updated the iPad, thus not updated Fresco in a little bit. So that's why I'm using the desktop version. But honestly, I really like highlighting that desktop version exists because a lot of people, I feel like, forget that. And that if you have a Creative Cloud account, that this is a free program that you could just like use on your usual device. So there's no need to like, I have to get an iPad to use Fresco or something like that. So I'm kind of glad that we get to highlight it, even if it's just because we haven't gotten all of our files off yet.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is a friendly reminder. Save your files. Back up your files.
Always back up your files, friends. I do have mine backed up on the cloud, so I don't have to worry about that as much. But there are a few floating around that are just iPad, like pictures and videos and stuff. So anyways. Okay. So what we're going to do is play just to see. It looks beautiful so far. First of all, I'm going to lower the frame rate so that it's not like crazy fast. A little poppy. I love it. This is going to be full of character, friends. It's going to be great.
I love it. The chat has a lot of puns going on. There's animation by Randall. He started us off at the right foot. And Devin just said, did you hear about the new frog-inspired beer? It's really hoppy.
Clever friends. Oh my gosh. I love it. All right. We need Ryan in the chat to chime off. Is this exactly what you expected?
Yes, Ryan, tell us.
I think I'm also going to add some blank frames in here so that we can have some space to see like.
So when you say blank frames, do you duplicate?
Oh, yeah, we since we animated this on a separate frame than the original frog frame, when we add blank frames in here, it's really just going back to the base drawing, so it doesn't show anything changing. I believe you can also, again, I am not an expert in animation. I just decided, hey, let's do this. I think there's a way that you can hold frames. I can't remember exactly how, but I can just put in blank frames and it's exactly the same thing. So yeah, then we've got like a little bit of a gap in between those ribbits. Oh yeah, and you have to pause to be able to access some of the other features like zooming in and out and stuff like that. So that was one of the things that we were talking about doing. I may come back and revisit it, but already we've got some movement happening in this piece. The next thing I wanted to do, first of all, we have this shadow over it as a reminder that we wanted some kind of creature shadow to pass over, and before that, what I wanted to do was make this water feel like it's moving, because part of the folding foliage kind of thing, how it looks MC Escher-esque is because this water is reflecting the sky. And so it looks like we're almost in the sky. And then you realize, oh, this is actually a creek. It's reflecting the sky. There are multiple ways to make this feel a little bit more water-like and a little bit more like it's reflecting the sky. So one of those things is making it feel more water-like is going to be what, like, probably my favorite part of all of this is just creating some ripples and motion on the surface of the water. And then the other part that we can do, which we can try, I have not done this before, but we can try, is making the clouds move. And I think that would be pretty simple with paths, but we'll see. Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, it's only 15 minutes in and we've already made the toad move. I love it.
It's probably the jankiest movement that's gonna be on this entire thing, but hey, we can always go back. This is the warm-up. It's all good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is grab some of this light blue and I'm going to just make it even lighter and then slightly more green. And I want this to be my highlight color on the edge of the water. So imagine just like a highlight on some kind of super clear water. You want it to feel clear and crisp and good. So what I'm going to do is just start drawing. This area right here is where the water drops. So it's going to go from like this higher area to a lower area. And because of that level difference, we're going to have a shine happen right on the corner where it's flopping over. And what I want to do is create kind of these shapes that feel a little bit, kind of like a line, but then also undulating. Does that make any sense? An undulating line.
And I'm sure it will, even if it doesn't right now.
You can read my mind. You understand what I'm saying.
I understand. I definitely do.
But yes, this kind of part of the process is really free flowing and lovely. That's why I love doing water animation and like fire effects, mostly because it just feels, I don't know, it works with how my brain works, I guess. So
Anthony says that Anna had an idea of what she'd be able to animate within the time frame today. So don't be too sad if she can't incorporate all the awesome ideas we have. Hey, thanks, Anthony, for that call out. Yeah, I did mention yesterday that maybe we take your suggestions, chat, but that maybe is also subject to the limited time frame that we have. So yeah, we will try, but I can't promise.
Oh my gosh, this is my challenge to you guys. If you have an awesome idea, make it happen on your illustration, because I really love seeing what people can make come to life. And please, if you do make something today, please tag me on like whatever social media. I'm Anna Daviscourt everywhere. So I just want to see what you make, because this kind of stuff just makes me so happy. To see things move is it's a rewarding part of this process, because it almost feels like an extra finishing layer where you're like, oh yeah, I'm done. But now it's like that extra 10% that really makes people look. I'm going to do the same thing as before. Oh wait, I don't even need to. Okay, so when you have the animation tool on, it just stays on. So you can see that there's a frame down here in the middle. And then all I have to do is add a frame. Again, the highlights went to like a darker multiply layer kind of look because they are onion skinning. Onion skinning is where it's an animation term where it is showing you previous frames, but not in a way that hopefully distracts you from what you're painting. So you can see kind of the motion that you're creating and how much it's going to change from the previous frame, which is really, really helpful. I definitely think that they design these tools with animators like on board, talking to them about what they needed.
Love that. So can I use blend modes when I'm using animation? Is that a feature is that possible?
I believe so. Yes. Okay. I think I tested this. I tested multiple things on here, so I'm kind of forgetting which ones like worked and which ones didn't. But I believe that blend modes work, and what we're going to be doing later today, because of the shadow that we want casting over, it's going to be a multiply layer. So we're going to test that.
Awesome. Yeah. Nice. I don't think I've ever used a blend mode in a motion layer, so that's exciting. I'm excited to see that.
Well, this is your time, clearly. We're just gonna switch over to Anika's screen. She's gonna animate stuff. Annika made stuff. I love that both of our names are close to Animate. This was meant to be,
right? Yeah. Love that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is basically just as many frames as I want it to be, and it can this is kind of a technique close to what you did, Annika, for your the promo for today's stream. It is creating the same drawing, but doing it in a way that's, every single time you draw something, it's not going to be exactly the same, pixel perfect.
Yeah.
So in that way, overlapping those drawings make them feel like they're alive, like they move, even without creating a ton of different, like, oh, it's going from here to here. It's just that overlap creates emotion.
Yeah, kind of like a very small displacement between, let's say, if you're making the text move, you just want the text to be displaced just by very tiny pixels. So there is motion, but not really.
Exactly.
I think that's turbulent displace in After Effects. I'm not sure, but Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong.
Ryan will always correct us. That's why he's
Absolutely, and I love
here.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love doing that, especially with like little title cards or something. If you ever want to add a personal touch to a video or anything like that, doing a little doodle multiple times and having the lines kind of move, or having a title sequence that's in your own writing, but you just wrote it multiple times. It is definitely, it adds a handmade quality to it that I think elevates a lot of video work. And that could be applied to anything, literally. Like, oh, you want to make a story on whatever, a story or a reel or a TikTok or any kind of motiony thing. Adding that little bit of extra oomph can really go a long way.
Absolutely. Alessandra in the chat has a question.
Yes, Alessandra. Hi. How's it going?
Anna, is there a tool on Fresco that you were surprised to use when you found out what it was? And it was really fun as well.
I think all of Fresco. I know that's a cheat answer, but every single time that I found a new brush or a new like live brushes were a whole like, oh my gosh, kind of feeling. And then of course the animation tools. I have been over the moon ever since. Actually, I was introduced to them during the testing phase that they had for it. So they brought me on as like a, hey, try out this feature and see. We just want to watch how you use it, basically. Like, there are no wrong answers. If there's something that feels a little less intuitive, then that's exactly what we want to fix. So I got to use it a little bit before it was released, and I was freaking out during that whole session. I was like, wait, oh my gosh, this is such a good idea. Oh, and this is such a good idea. It was great. And I'm going to get to paths after this as well, which are, I think, pretty revolutionary for like what digital animation to the broader audience has to offer. Like, there are programs like After Effects, but for some reason, there's this big barrier between me and After Effects and programs like it, because I feel like I have to take a class in it before I understand everything that I can do. Whereas with Fresco, you could spend about 5 minutes. The tutorial that they did was very well done. So if you really want to know how to use this, the animation features, it's literally 5 minutes of the tutorial and you'll know every aspect of it. So that is something that was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be like, every frame is an animation frame, like other programs have that kind of thing. But the other part of it that made it like so much better than that in my mind is that every frame in Fresco is every layer in Fresco is a multitude of frames. So you can see I'm using one layer right now on the right to make all these highlight frames. So it's so much more adaptable and succinct in that way. And if I'm animating something like, I want a frog on this layer and I want a butterfly on this layer or something, but I want them to move, then I can move them freely. If they were both on the same frame, I would have to lasso tool move on every single frame to get that thing to move. So it's definitely, it's funny, that sounds like so technical and like, oh, that's just an aspect of the program, but it makes it so much more fun when you're creating, because you're not held up by all of these in between frictional things, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. The latest update with like moving everything together on like a layer really helped my workflow. So that was amazing.
Absolutely. I am so glad about that. And also we're going to do the testing of blend modes and everything like that. So they're just these freedoms that I am so glad that they've added, but I wasn't necessarily expecting or asking for. It's kind of like when somebody's like, oh yeah, do you want this? And you're like, oh, actually I really do, but I didn't even know I wanted that. Wow, how did you guess my heart?
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and there's only one frame left here. I'm gonna just quickly pop this in and then we can see the highlight move. Okay, play.
Ooh, that looks fun.
See, yeah, it's like, a little bit of motion here on the top of the water. Makes me happy.
Love that. Yeah. So does it have like the same number of frames? And I know there was a question in chat that Anthony already answered, but are you working in the same animation frames as a frog, or is it a new set of frames? It's a new set of frames, right? It's a different
It's a new
layer
set of
altogether.
frames. They play,
Mhm.
I'm not sure about all the technical aspects of this. I'm sure that somebody else could describe it much more succinctly, but the way that I understand it is that the maximum amount of frames in this file, like if I had one of the layers was 15 frames or something like that, then it would play the full 15 frames, and then within that, if something was say 5 frames, it would play it 3 times within those 15 frames. Does that make sense?
That does. And that is exactly how it works. I just found out actually. Did you know that there are no limits to the number of frames that you can add in motion?
Really?
In Fresco?
There's no, the limit does not exist.
There is no limit. The limit does not exist. And that is also for the layers in Fresco. So that's pretty neat.
That is so neat. So yeah, if I wanted to make it the full exact frames of the frogs, I could add 2 more in here and have it be 7 frames. I'm not super exact, so usually I just follow my bliss or whatever. So it's something that is personal to each artist, I think, and whatever you want it to be. I think on this same layer, I'm going to add a ripple effect at the bottom of our drop off of the water right here. So what I'm going to do is, this is a pretty cool way of repeating frames and making something like loop. So I'm going to start with just like a medium length and distance ripple right there. Now you could just barely see that onion skinning right there. And then I'm going to have it go a little bit longer and be further out. I'm actually going to do it slightly closer. I want it to be a little bit less distance that it gets. And then start dissipating, where it's like, oh, it's piecing apart a little bit, but it keeps getting longer. And we're on frame number 3. And then frame number 4, I'm going to have it dissipating even more, getting out here. And then frame number 5, I'm going to have it just at its last little bits, where it's like, okay, now it's gone. And then what we're going to do is go back to our first one. And right here, you can see where we started, that first area. What we want to do is go to our last frame and do the frame that would come before this. So as in, the line was right here, but what we're going to do is what would come before that. So slightly shorter and slightly more upward, whatever you would call that.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the 4th one, and we go back even further, and then back even further, and then just the very start of it. And then we have,
yeah, it's all starting to go, oh wow, look at that.
All right, now we're seeing the 7 frame problem though. So I should make the 7 frames, but you can see how it kind of stutter steps that one little bit. That's where it's kind of catching up with that. Oh, 7 frames. Now, another thing I could do is just get rid of 2 of the frames on the frog, which I have no problem doing. So that's what we're going to do. These are just empty frames that we added before. So I'm just going to go narrow it down to 5, and then we can see it smoothly play.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Boom.
That's amazing. Ooh, we already have ripples. I love that.
And so, yeah, this is rippling 101, I guess. And then we have the little highlights on the edge of it. We can create more highlights. We can create more ripples, basically all over the place. I think maybe we should add some around the lily pad where the frog is, as if it's kind of bobbing a little bit. So it's creating those waves out. And then definitely some drag around the base of the plants, I think would be lovely. So let's go back to our ripple area. We can just keep all the water ones on like a one layer, just for funsies. So we can kind of create little drag outs maybe. And you just kind of have to keep in mind what you want it to, want it to read as over time. Like, what motion are you imagining happening here? And I, especially with water, want it to kind of break off at a certain point. So it's not like a solid shape that I'm following through to completion. It's just I don't know, it's an effect more than it is a solid object, if that makes sense. It has its own kind of physics.
Yeah, I absolutely love the ripples. I think adding the ripples to the sides, like to the shore, will also make it more read more as like water rather than
Water.
sky, but also sky because clouds. So
Sky because
it's a
clouds.
very
Yeah,
so it's all very surreal.
Let's play with the clouds real quick. I just want to see if I can make them move just the tiniest bit. Like I don't want it to be crazy, like whoosh, there goes clouds. And because we want them to be loopable, I don't want it to be this like, oh, it moves to the right and then it's back and then it moves to the right, you know? So what I want is just the slightest feeling of movement, but not something that feels what's the opposite of repeatable? I don't know, stagnant.
Non-repetitive.
Anna gets the words.
I don't know, stagnant. Stagnant is better, but yeah. I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Exactly. We want to float boats here. So the idea that I had for this is to use paths rather than creating multiple frames. That we could do that. We could do the watercolor brushes and create like multiple clouds in and of themselves. However, I think that would probably read as very busy because the watercolor brushes are so wild in terms of like control is not necessarily the main word I'd use for them. So I don't want to have like clouds everywhere. I just want a subtle movement, just a little shift.
Although that would be fun too. Just saying.
I mean, everything's fun and we can try anything. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's see how to do this. So I want to use this cloud layer and I want to use paths, but it's grayed out. So let's see if I can do.
Oh. Ryan in the chat is like, there's gonna be a boat? And I'm like, LOL, no.
LOL, nah. Like, how about not? Oh my gosh. So I'm hitting the limits of my knowledge here a little bit. I am not sure exactly. Here, let's try path on here.
Wait, was it a clipping mask that you used for the animation? Like, is it a clipping mask layer?
There is no clipping mask layer. All I did was add a frame. Oh, now it's working. I don't know what it is. The path was grayed out at the very beginning. And so I added another layer and that's why it was like flickering, you know? So now I'm going to use path and then I'm just going to see if it can do it. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, wait. Huh? Oh, it is moving just the ever so slightest. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. I'm a little bit amazed. Okay.
Oh, it is moving. Yeah. I just found out. Is there a way that you could turn on the touches just for this part so that like we can see? So if you go to your settings up top for the application.
Beep. Settings.
On the app settings.
App settings.
Input.
You're amazing. I can't believe
and you go to touch and then you go scroll down and there's a show touches button that you can turn on so that there's like a where is it? Where is show touches? What? Is it not available for the Windows app? Man.
Brush preview?
Okay, maybe you can turn that on just so maybe you can turn on the crosshair thing. Yeah.
Crosshairs. Okay.
So on the iPad, there's this show touches feature that if you're demonstrating the app to someone, it actually shows like a blue pointer and it shows where you're tapping and using the pencil on the screen.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was not on the Windows. Oh, that's weird.
I don't know. We're finding new things out. Okay. It's so funny, but it is true that the desktop version has like tiny little differences. You might not ever know it, but it's just one of those things. Okay, so we're trying the path again. I think what it is it's locking to the place where I put the path as the center point of the cloud image. So the closer I am to the center point of the cloud, the less it will move them. In terms of like, it basically is saying where you put your anchor point is where we're going to move this image. So I just need to kind of put the anchor point close to the center of where this image is. At least I think this is true. Okay, there. It moved a lot less this time.
Oh, yeah, I did see it move.
Yes, I need you guys to see how little these guys are moving. Just a tiny little bit. Ooh.
Oh, I see the path now. That is fun.
So that is just because I drew such a short line. If I drew a long line, they would just go along that long line. So there are so many different ways you can use paths to this effect. And I could also create I forgot about this. There's like a whole effects panel of different options, the amount of frames, the speed that you go at. And I believe there's an option in possibly settings. Yeah, playback, loop, boomerang, play once. So I kind of wanted the boomerang effect because boomerang just means it goes forward and then bouncing back. Yeah, exactly. They're all saying, everyone in the chat,
I see it. Love that.
Exactly. So yes, there is a motion here. Now, Annika, I want your opinion. Do you think that this motion is the right direction, or should we try a different direction?
I think can you add multiple motion parts on the same layer? Is that possible?
Oh wait.
Yeah, because if there's like a horizontal motion as well, so it'll kind of make it move like it's like bobbing sort of, you know, and maybe more realistic, but also like, do we want this realistic? I don't know. Oh, you can.
It did something.
It almost looks like the watercolors like melting in and there's like water just like spreading. What? That is fun.
So fun.
Did we break it?
I have no idea. Who knows? This is the fun part. We're just figuring stuff out, man. I think
it works. And it looks really good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Look at that cloud. Oh, except for down here. That's the only thing. Oh, I think what it did is it duplicated the layers. Do you see down here? So you can see one cloud staying down there and then another one moving. Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, cool.
Oh, is it because you did not have multiples? So you can do that if you add a motion path on the options at the right. It says path effects and there's an add multiples option. So if you would like to add multiples, maybe there's like butterflies that you created and you want like 5 butterflies. You don't have to draw every butterfly. You just create like a swirly path and add multiples. So that's fun.
Exactly.
Maybe you can add a butterfly.
No, I'm going to. Yeah, totally. No, I think that we're going to add butterflies. Also, if you want to make this a night scene, you could have sparkling stars in the sky or something like that. Yeah. The possibilities are endless, really. Okay, so what I wanted to do is try a different path. What you were saying was you wanted them to go like horizontal and then back. Was that something?
Like the motion that you already have, but also an additional horizontal motion. Which kind of will make them look like a head bob situation.
A head bob. I love it. So you can create loops like this where like I literally just drew a little oval and then it's like they're kind of bobbing around a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, that is such a fun creative solution.
It's not like a completely natural, like this is what clouds do. The wind's just shifting so much. But I think that again, for the creation of like a motion feel, it definitely gets the point across. It did move them a fair bit, so I'm going to try it one more time. This is the beauty of paths, by the way. It's so fast to try them. It's literally just drawing one line. And if you want to get rid of your path, all you have to do is press the X that's on the end of the path itself. Let's see that. Oh, I went too far upwards. You can see the cloud on the bottom got cut off.
Yeah.
I think there's also... I remember there being something about like that anchor point and how you could like move what the anchor point was, but I can't remember right now.
Do you mean where you start the paths?
Where you start the path creates the anchor point for the image.
Okay.
So you know how I'm creating it too high up, and so the bottom cloud that's cut off by the edge of the page is like showing its edge. Don't show your edge. But the great thing about this particular image is that the bottom one's cut off, yes, but the top one isn't. So I could go down a little bit and have that leeway of like, okay, this isn't too bad. All right, I think that we're good on that one for now, at least. Of course, we can always come back and always keep editing everything. So now we've got play all. Oh yeah, it's all come together.
Oh, I do notice that the ripples also boomerang.
It is. Oh, that's fascinating. Okay, well, that's kind of fine because I don't need the clouds to boomerang anymore because we have basically a built-in boomerang with the shape of our path. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's actually a very creative solution because we don't want everything else to boomerang, and Yeah.
It's a
love
really
that.
good thing to know. The limitations of your
Mhm.
program or whatever you want to call it, like just knowing exactly what is going to happen is your greatest advantage. So we're learning together,
Absolutely.
friends.
Yeah, I mean, you can work in any program, but knowing how to get over tiny bits and pieces like this is definitely something that comes with
Absolutely.
experience, and also
Mhm.
like doing it over and over again. I love that. Which also brings me to a question that I had. Did you
Mhm.
look at any video tutorials for animation, or did you just straight dive into it with
I watch
Fresco?
them whenever I come across them. Basically, I'm very interested in
Mhm.
animation, but more so just to see how it's made. I really appreciate the medium, but not necessarily because I'm like, oh, I'm going to apply this. But I guess over time, you kind of take in information, and
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's really, really good to learn how to do these things, even if you're not necessarily a full-time animator, because it gives you a better understanding of how motion impacts just like posing and cloth and the effects that you could use in your pieces. So even if you are a still illustrator or artist, you can learn from animation, because animation is just doing that
Absolutely.
same art through motion and multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. Love that.
I'm going to add a little bit of motion to this grass as well. I'm going to do like some drag here. Whoop. Whoop. You gotta have the sound effects. This is
Gotta have the
essential.
sound effects.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I like that line.
Love that. Everyone in the chat is excited about the clouds. So edgy, sweet, and wow. Love that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, the clouds are really satisfying. It's so funny how that really small amount of motion can give so much life to things. Let's do
Absolutely.
some ripples on this froggo. Beep.
Ooh,
And then we can
the
work
frog.
on, yeah, the frog. The frog. We can do some butterflies.
Ooh. Yeah, love that. This almost is inspiring me to make like a frog and like have an insect and have the frog eat it with its tongue.
Okay, we're gonna look forward to that on Annika's page. I love it. I want
I'm
more
sorry.
frog
This is just
inspiration.
very inspiring. So I'm like, maybe I can make that.
Yes, you absolutely can. Oh, that makes me so happy. That's the best thing we could possibly imagine. It's just like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
be
inspiring.
inspired. Yay.
Ryan has a very fun question. Speaking of inspiration, Ryan asks, where did the inspiration for this little girl come from?
For this what?
The character that we have in the illustration.
Random. I had no real inspiration for this particular person. They're just a character that came out of my head. I don't know what to tell you, Ryan. I'm sorry. Oh, Ryan says she reminds me a little of Ness. That's so cute. I think it's a striped shirt. But yeah, I think for most character designs, I would be on the side of like, make it personal and like important and a good, character study altogether. And then whenever I draw, I'm like, I don't know, this character. I like overalls. So yeah, it's kind of funny how practice
Maybe it's like
different.
Maybe it's like little Anna out and
Yeah.
about at the creek.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
my
like
ideal version of my childhood self. Yes. In reality, I was wearing like these big sweatshirts with like wolves on them and like multicolored tights, and then
love that.
barefoot all the time, baby. But
love that.
yeah.
Streetwear. Hey.
Exactly. This is living my streetwear dreams. Oh, I found a hat actually that's very similar to this the other day, where it had like a little tiger design on the top of it and little ears. I might get it.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Anyways, butterflies. Let's do that. Boom. Well, I'm gonna think of them more as like little moths, because I went on a hike with my family and Anthony and James the other day, and these little moths, just these little baby, I don't know if they were technically moths or butterflies. I'm guessing they're moths. No, it was definitely a moth. When we looked at it up close, it was very fuzzy and had like the curly antenna. Anyways, they were basically everywhere on our hike. They were like our spirit moths. We were just like, oh yeah, we're going. And it's like, oh, there's a few of them. Oh, they're like all around our feet. They're so pretty. So yeah, I just wanted to add some like little magical bits here. It always feels magical when there's some little glowy bit or a little movement here and there. Like little bits for some reason are just so satisfying to the brain.
Love it. Yeah, Wade in the chat says, Anna sounds like me talking about where ideas come from. I like dragons and swords.
So
indeed.
True. I like it. No, I think that is a very universal thing for artists, is like, you know, there's this idea. Where is my drawing happening? I don't know why it's like showing up here, but not on. Oh, I'm underneath the layer that I'm. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That was my bad. Yeah, I'm just going to delete it and start a new one up here, like a smart person. This shows you how organized my layer structure is. So I do think that there is something to be said about like, oh, you have to be one way or another as an artist, like have this grandiose, I got the inspiration from blah, blah, blah. And literally everyone is just like, I think it's cool. It's like that Marge meme where it's like, I just think they're neat. So yeah, I definitely feel like you don't need a reason that's deeper than I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree to that 100%.
So with this, I'm just going to really loosely imply this is not like a detailed drawing of a moth or anything like that. But in this way, it's so fun to just be like, oh yeah, little tiny marks that become something that moves. It's really satisfying. So the idea I have in my mind is open wings, closed wings, like completely closed wings.
Oh, like a flutter. Nice.
Exactly. Yeah. So my completely closed wings is literally just like a line. And then I'm going to go backwards and have the semi-closed wings. Beep, 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 beep. And then those open wings again. And I can go more exaggerated this time because our next frame is going to be open wings. So if we don't want two butting up against each other where it's like open wings, I can just kind of overextend it a little bit and then it'll go back to open wings and then continue the motion. It's a loop. Do you see the loop?
Ooh, I do see the loop.
One of them is way too big.
Oh my God, it looks so good. What?
It's how it goes, baby. And then, like you said before, we can create multiples of this. We can put it on a path. We can do all sorts of things. So let's play around with that.
And now comes the magic. We're all talking about magic in the chat.
Oh, it's magic. You know. Okay, so let's put it on a path first. I just want to kind of like give it a little loop that it does. Oh, look at it go. It's making its way downtown. Okay.
It's going up and away.
Up
and
it's
away. Coming back. Oh. Anticlimactic, but okay.
And then you can click this little button to the right that says align to path, and then it will face the direction of the path. So now it's like it's flying with its head first. Woo! And then you can add multiples. And now there are 3 of them.
Look at that.
Isn't that cool? And I can get rid of that path and then create like a bigger one. And then there they go. Oh!
Wow.
And then you can scatter
I love that.
And they're all randomized on and off the path. So it doesn't feel as like they're just in a circle.
I love that.
It's so cool. I love all the effects that they gave us. Oh, and look at this. Blend modes.
Oh,
right there.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know the blend modes existed for this.
Yeah, apparently. So we can turn this to, multiply or whatever. And now we have dark moths. Or we could create shadows underneath them and then duplicate the frame and then have the shadows. Oh, let's try it. It's happening.
Is super fun. Yeah. Everyone in the chat is really hyped with all the motion that's happening. David in the chat says, that's how most of our projects happen. I like it.
Absolutely. Duplicate and layer. And then I'm going to change the blend mode to normal. And then do we have it? Oh, wait, I need to offset it.
There's also a couple of questions in the chat. While we are doing this, I'm going to ask this one first, but there's a question about how you created the path. So maybe we can go over that really quickly once again.
Sorry, it was creating the path?
Yeah, maybe you can zoom in a little. Maybe it's kind of that. Someone wanted to know how you created the path. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So let's see here. When you are using the animation tool, so again, first step is we just take whatever layer you want to do anything with, and we just click this animation tool down in the bottom right corner. So it's got the 3 circles. Do you guys see that?
And a play button. Yeah.
Exactly. And the play button. So that's first step. Then when you have the frame up, there's 3 options on the bottom of your screen. One of them says play all, and then the path is in the middle, and then settings. So when you want to add a path to something, all you have to do is press that path button and draw some kind of path on your screen. And then your frames will follow that path. Whatever the frames do, they will happen, but as they are moving along this path. So yeah, that's how we do it.
Yeah, and then you just draw the path wherever you want it, and it's just going to follow it. But you can also change the settings, just like Anna demonstrated earlier. You can scatter them or like make it move along the path as well. So that's also super fun. Hey.
Exactly. And if you have any questions that like I am not answering satisfactorily or anything like that, there is an entire tutorial that you can go through in Fresco, and you can always access the tutorials on the homepage of it. So if you ever want you have any questions that you want answered about Fresco in general or the animation tool specifically, right there is the best place to start.
Or you could join Anna's streams on her personal Behance only at b.net/Anna Daviscourt.
Whoa.
Anna, when do you stream? Do you stream on Tuesdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays? Is that
Tuesdays
it?
and Thursdays. Yes. Yeah. So Tuesday, Thursday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. And we're not going to be doing that today just because I am doing this. And so I feel like this is my stream for the day. And hey, I see Jake in the chat, and Rin, and all my friends from my streams are here. So thank you so much for being here. And shout out to anybody in replay land who didn't catch this live. We still love you.
We do. Trust us, we do. And if you do watch the replay, tell us in the Discord. Tell us in Anna's Discord that you watched the replay. Hey.
Exactly. Okay, I think, why is it not? I'm confused about why it's not showing the shadow underneath for these when we play it. You see, it's just the light version.
Yeah. Do you have to copy the motion paths? Is that it?
It's all duplicated, so it should have the path as well as the frames, and they're just the multiplied version. And then I moved it slightly so that it would show up. You know, it's not directly underneath the pixels. So
I'm not sure if there's a motion path on this layer though, the shadow layer.
Oh really?
I don't know if it copies that. I mean, there is an option to copy the motion paths, but
it says that there's a path here. So the blue or purple bar above your frames is the path. So that should be. It should affect it.
Oh, it is there, but it's not. Oh,
it's there, but it's not. It's just when I play all that it doesn't show up. So I'm confused about that, but. Again, it's okay. So we're just experimenting to try to find out what we can and cannot do. And I can always just call up Adobe and be like, hey, why is this not working? Or rewatch the tutorial.
We have it live.
Try to figure it out. Okay, so we've got
Let me note down the timestamp. Like, let's make a user voice. No, I'm kidding. Exactly. But yeah, that is a fun thing. If you have any feature requests or any bugs that you want reported, you can always go to the community website and the user voice. I know Wade dropped it in the chat earlier, but don't forget to look up the features that you want, because I know a lot of us use the app very intuitively and we have the same kind of issues. So make sure to look for them first, and then not so as to not replicate and for the team to get to it easier. So yeah, maybe we'll do that.
I think it has something to do with duplicating the layer, because I just did that again where I was like trying to get those moths over here, and for some reason the duplication isn't making it work, although it does show it when it's on the frames, which is so interesting. I'm sure there's a really good reason for all this, but for now I'm just going to draw another moth and do the same thing again, because it's, first of all, a really easy animation to do. And second of all, I do like the idea of like handmade drawings as much as possible. I don't want the computer to do all the work for me. I just want to use it to its fullest advantage, and then, keep making it handmade looking.
Love that.
So I'm going to add another one over here. Maybe 2. I don't know how many we want over here.
There was a request earlier in the chat if you could make a lightning bug.
Lightning
and if
bug.
Yeah. Is that a lot to ask? Maybe. No. And also,
I think that's a doable thing. Sorry, go on.
And also, Anthony Jackson wanted to ask if you would ever create a children's motion book. That's a very fun idea.
What? How would that even work? Like an online book, I'm guessing, or like a digital of some sort. That would be really fun. Although honestly, I would just hire my friend Kendall, who does motion graphics for like a job, just be like, I made all the illustrations. Can you motion graphic this to make it amazing? Because again, like I am not a professional. I'm a professional speaker. Can you imagine that? Wow. But yeah, the animation side of my work is definitely not something that I sell to clients. So I'm not like, hey, look at this amazing animation I did. It's much more of a hobby at this point, which is exactly why I think it's awesome to show, because then people feel like they can maybe do it. Be like, hey, it's not super intimidating, honestly. It's just fun to play with. This is like drawing time in elementary school where we just got to do whatever.
I love it. Kendall is down for it. So hey, we've already got plans in action.
Down for it.
Plans in motion. Hey.
Yeah, now we just need to write, illustrate, animate a whole book, and we'll have done the whole thing. It's great. All right, so let's add a path to this guy as well. Pause. I think I want it to go like, we're gonna try that at least.
Anthony Sims in the chat, professional animator. Yes. I
love it. Look at these guys. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, they're so cute. Jake in the chat also mentioned that they love the ripples, so that was really fun.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love the ripples too. I think they're so fun.
He loves the ripple. I'm sorry, got your pronouns wrong. Hey,
it's all good. But yeah, the ripples are so much fun to quickly put in, and the second that I learned that like repeatable ripple trick that I showed you, I was like, my brain, it's working. It's actually firing on all cylinders. Like they told me it would someday. Because usually like making something repeat is kind of like doing math sometimes, where it's just like it either works or it doesn't. It's really frustrating when it doesn't. But yeah. Okay. Is it time? Should we jump into the shadow? What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're almost at the 1 hour mark. So if you guys are just joining us, hey, welcome. We are here with Anna Daviscourt, and she's making her illustration move that she worked on yesterday. So if you didn't quite catch the first part, make sure to go back to Behance or the YouTube and watch the replay. Hey, and come back here. Don't watch that right now. Just be here for now.
Be here now.
And feel free to ask any questions. And if you're on YouTube, hop on over to Behance. This is where I'm reading the thread and I'm talking to all of our fun friends in the thread. So make sure to hop on to be.net/Adobe Live. And back to you, Anna.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, so we have the idea here is that we have a shadow of a dragon-esque creature going over this whole illustration. Now, this is my idea. Of course, I'm sure that the chat has 5 million awesome ideas of what this could be. So I'm not saying this is the end all be all of like what could be here. I love the aspect ratio of this particular piece for this purpose, though. I think that having some kind of horizontal over this vertical space that we have is really pleasing to the eye. So what I want to do is I am always channeling the dragons from Breath of the Wild. I don't know if you played that, Annika. Have you?
I haven't.
Oh, you gotta get it for you. It's so good. It's my favorite game in the world. It is a Legend of Zelda game, and it's got all sorts of magic in it. And some of the aspects of that magic are there 3 massive dragons within this world, and they look so cool when they're flying over you, and you're just like, wow. And they have special music play and everything. I love it. So
wow, that does sound good.
I gotta show you. Oh, you love it. So I'm going to be channeling that kind of motion with this and have a wave kind of feeling to it. So what I want to do is just give myself a reference layer of the path that it's going to be following, kind of. Not a path as in animation path, but path as in the flow of how its body is going to undulate. There is a tutorial that I watched on how to make water look like it's moving in a glass. I think it was something like that. It was like seeing the top of the water in a glass of water. It's a circle or oval, I guess, from the side, and having it wave on the front and the back. It was like how much of that oval is showing at a certain point showed the whole structure of like the water inside the glass. And that tutorial kind of opened my mind up to how to make waves happen in animation. So I'm kind of using that knowledge, at least the little bits that I've retained on this.
Love that. Yeah. So is it like half of the oval is showing when it's like moving inside? Like if you shake the glass horizontally and that's what you see?
Kind of.
If you're at the eye level of the water level.
If you're eye level, it'd be like as flat as possible, but it's kind of at an edge. Well, the whole point is that it's moving. So the oval shows itself more. And then at a certain point, the waves contrast. So there's an infinity sign basically where it like kind of like tilts into a sideways 8. And then
exactly.
You know, that kind of
sideways
idea.
8. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
It's very hard to describe with words. I wish I could show you the tutorial.
Love it. Oh, I absolutely, I got it. Yeah. The Excellent. Sideways 8 is definitely what I was referring to.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so I want our shadow to move along this line. I'm going to paint in with a heavier brush than usual. I've been using the pencil brush recently on all these animations, but that one, it's hard to build up opacity with it sometimes. So I want something that's really readily opaque. So the rake grit brush is my favorite for that. Because it's got a textured edge, but it's also just fully opaque. The other one that I like to use is the graphite brush, but we'll see if we want that. We'll play around with it. We'll see.
So do you always use like Kyle Webster brushes in Fresco? I know you use Shauna Lynn's brushes in Photoshop, but do you use them in Fresco as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, I use Shauna Lynn Parmesan makes some amazing brushes and you should check them out for sure. Also classes and books and all those stuff.
Oh, a new Domestica course as well.
Yes, absolutely. We love Shauna. And so, I hop between brushes. I've even made my own brushes for Fresco once upon a time. And I just kind of, I don't know, feel out what I want for the piece. I usually use a lot of Kyle's brushes for like the bulk of my pieces, I would say, because that's the bulk of the brushes. And they are amazing, honestly. I do love Kyle's brushes so much that it makes me like, I don't know. I'll use brushes outside of his sometimes, and I almost always come back to like mostly using his. So Absolutely. It's just preference.
Yeah. I also love that. I think I actually first saw you using the rake grit in one of your fruit animal pieces, and I'm like, maybe I should use this brush.
Yeah.
And ever since I started using it, I can't go back. Like, this is really fun.
It's really fun and really fast. It just chunks in there so easily, like this. Hit. Look at that. So it's funny how you get so comfortable with certain brushes. It's like, oh yeah, this is what I needed. Excuse me. What I think I'm gonna do is test that blend mode thing. So I'm gonna just draw one of the frames, and then we're gonna put it on blend mode to see what it looks like. Just to see. Oh, thank you, Wade, posting Shauna's Behance in the chat. You're amazing.
Love it. Thank you, Wade. Odari mentions. Oh, yeah, for sure. The only other brushes that I use other than Kyle Webster's are Wade and Maddie's brushes. Oh, Wade has this really nice chalk brush that I know he got from somewhere, but he tweaked the settings a little, and he also has a couple of different brushes in there as well. I use that, and to my surprise, before using that, I did not ever think that you could use just one brush to create the whole illustration. And now I do that. So, hey, thanks, Wade.
Woohoo! Yay, Wade. I love that so much. Yeah, it's so funny how like different things that you're painting also call to different brushes, where it's like, oh yeah, I need this for that and that for this. So sometimes that perfect brush comes along and you're like, oh. I remember we talked about yesterday, I used to work in mobile games, and when I was working there, I found this one brush that they really wanted us to use for a lot of the blending, and it became my brush for everything. I was like, oh, it's just this brush forever and ever. I don't even know the name of it, but it was just the brush that we passed
The go-to
around.
brush.
Yeah, exactly.
The go-to brush.
I think they called it Painterly.
Very apt.
Exactly. Okay. I want to go to, how do I see the blend modes on here? We saw blend modes once upon a time, remember?
The settings at the bottom 3 things.
Is it here?
Oh, does it only appear when you have like a path on it? That is so weird.
Possibly. Interesting. Although I want to see the other aspect of this, like we could just on the regular layer set it to multiply and see what happens. Yeah, I think it might set all the frames at once to multiply, so I think that works.
Okay, that also works. Love that. So I noticed that there's like a black line that you created for the path of the shadow. Is that just as a guideline that you created, or is it part of the
Yeah, it's just a guide to figure out what kind of motion we're going to be creating. And like kind of try to work it through there. And I am torn about whether I think what I want to do is just create something that follows that path, and this is going to be a confusing sentence, follows the path that is the black line, and then creating a path animation wise so that it can move as well. So it's like going like this, but it's going like this stagnantly, where it's like woo, woo, woo. But then we put a path on it and it goes woo, woo, and also moves. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does make sense. Yeah. It's like, so the black line is basically the shape in which your shadow will move, but there also will be a motion paths, which will make the shape that you made across the black line move. I don't know if that makes sense. Did I complicate it?
I don't know. Man, my brain's starting to turn off, so we'll see. We'll see.
Man.
One thing that I can do.
Not you too.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, what happens if both of us do it? Oh no. Annika, hold it together.
Oh no. Wade can help us. Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Wade will be the one brain cell between all of us. So I think what I want to do is I'm questioning whether I want to do this diagonally like it is, or do it straight on, because I feel like I could get messed up if I do it diagonally, but I think we're going to be okay. I think I can do this. Okay. So what I want to do is move this line a little bit at a time so that we can kind of draw along it. That's kind of the idea here. So we have one frame, and then this next frame. Oh, was it the entire layer that I wanted? Sure. Yeah. Okay. So we're matching up to that black. Done. Continue.
So do you duplicate the frame before you change it? Oh, you duplicated. Okay. I missed that. Yeah.
Did I do the other? Let's see. Oh yeah, I accidentally moved this too. I want the selected frame. There we go. Okay. So I wanted this to stay kind of like down here. And donezo. Boop. Just paint that in. Again, this is one of the reasons why I really want it to be rough at the beginning, is because if I'm like covering in pieces or like accidentally cutting them out of the piece, I don't want it to be the end of the world, like, oh no, I just got the face shape right or whatever like that. So the idea is loosey-goosey so that we don't feel obligated.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why roughs in animation really exist, because you make the rough animation first and then you see if everything's working to your liking. Exactly. And then you can make the final completed illustration move. And also I want to say hi to Dan in the chat. We have a lot of friends joining us. Hi. Sorry if I missed you, but hey everyone, thank you for joining us. We are almost at the midpoint of the illustration, and we have about 20 minutes left for the artist spotlight, so make sure to stay tuned and stick around for that. And we're having this fun conversation about brushes in the chat, which is also super fun. Yes, if you're a brush hoarder, tell us.
Is this the dragon horde? The dragon hordes? It's like, oh yeah, it's all brushes, baby. Yeah, they're amazing brushes. Do you have any favorites right now that you can name?
I can actually pull them up. So Let's do it. I do like the Kyle Webster Doozy inker that he has available on his Gumroad, which I really, really like. I also like the big dirty halftone. I like the ink roller.
I
And
just love the way you said that. The big dirty halftone. Yeah.
there's this very fun dry media perfect pencil brush in the charcoal pack, I think, which I really like and use on the iPad. And rake chunk variant. But lately I've been using the Atlas brush, which is also super fun. That's what I used for the illustration that I created today, actually. So
Yay! By the way, you guys have to check out the animation that Annika made for this stream.
Man.
It's so cute. I love it so much. Do you do that for all your streams, or was that just like you felt inspired?
I did actually want to highlight that we were going to be doing motion, so I went the extra mile for it. But I typically put like photographs of the guests, but that's kind of hard to find because I like to ask permission before I do that. So I was like, hey, let's just make an illustration because then there'll be no issues.
Yes,
I guess.
I love it.
I do put out like promos for it because I feel like you should. One must. But yeah, I was just inspired from you yesterday creating this fun illustration, and I don't get the time to do it often. So I was like, hey, let's take advantage of that and make something move.
Oh, we love it. Oh, so everybody go celebrate that Annika felt inspired. I'm so happy about it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for inspiring me.
Oh, always. At least that's the goal. You know, have you ever had that feeling of like somebody was inspired by your work and then you feel just, I don't know, like something's in the world today that wasn't yesterday, and it's because like we caused this chain reaction. Yep. It's so cool.
Absolutely. There is a surreal feeling for sure.
For sure. Oh wait, whoops. All right, this is our last frame of the 5. We don't have it in a boomeranging situation, but honestly, I don't really care right now. I just want to see if this works. So if this works, then we can figure out the boomerang situation. If anybody has any ideas of how to make it go from like, feel like it loops in a natural way, then we can. Maybe we have it just like come in and out. I don't know if that's way too fast for only 5 frames, but we'll see if it can work.
Love it. Yeah, Kendall in the chat says Lord of the Brushes. So yeah.
Lord of the Brushes, keeper of the inn. Yes.
We have some very fun brush names in the chat as well. Bliss likes the Buttery Inker, Blockhead, Soft Tran Opacity, and Maddie Soft Airbrush. These are all the brushes that I've not used.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I've used these brushes. What? Love that. I love that there's so many things to explore in Fresco, even if you've been doing that for so long and also using all the Kyle Webster brushes. There are over like 2,000 brushes now with the latest release, and it's mind-blowing to me. How?
For sure.
How you do this?
Seriously. Oops. I think there's a blank frame in here. Okay. Beep, bop, boop, bop, beep, bop. Did we delete one? I don't know. I think there's space enough here to have a full frame in between and it not be crazy. So just give me a moment. I might have
distracted you. Hey.
How dare you? No.
How could I?
Oops. Did I? Oh yeah, I was moving the wrong thing. But yeah, the distraction during animation. Anthony and I have experienced this on our streams before where I'm like, okay, just give me 10 minutes of like silence. I need to figure this out. But that's exactly why I practice these things, so that like I hopefully don't need that. So I think I can talk you through what's happening right now. There is one blank frame in the middle here, and I just need to figure out where to paint that in between. So we've got one frame and then the one in between it. So all I need to do is close that gap, basically. So what I'm going to do is just, oh, am I on the right layer? Oh, it's like so low opacity.
Wrong layer? Bingo! No, I'm kidding. But also everyone, Ryan says Anna cannot get distracted, she's a pro, and Bliss says Anna was distracted by brush talk. So I don't know which one's right. You definitely pro, but I don't know if you're distracted or not. Oh my god, Ryan sat on the keyboard. Or maybe it's his cat.
Ryan too. Oh no. Why, Ryan? Why? So I found out it was just really low opacity, apparently. I don't know. I don't know what we did, but something.
Love it. I think I might have distracted you and you deleted it via accident.
And I
I
just
think
hit a
that's
button.
probably it. But I guess it's fine. We do get the idea of what that is. And the beauty of using Fresco is that you can easily recreate stuff. So I love that we get to see that part behind the scenes as well.
Absolutely.
And the whole process, which is amazing.
The whole messy process, baby. This is why on every stream that I do on my Behance page, I feel like sometimes I don't create necessarily the most beautiful thing by the end of the stream, but can you imagine somebody who just every single time they start making artwork, they always make something exactly how they wanted it to turn out?
Oh
no. Like I just don't think that's feasible, honestly. And I want people to know that, because when a lot of beginning artists especially feel like, oh, I have to create something that I'm really proud of every single time, they get dissuaded because they think, oh, it's not my best, especially at the beginning, because your hand can't make what your brain wants to. And so knowing that, like, even I have worked in the professional art world for many a year, I have so many days where I don't create exactly what I want to create, and it's fine. That's exactly what learning feels like.
Absolutely. Yeah, we touched on that a little bit yesterday as well. So yeah, that's really fun. Oh, look at that. You fixed it.
It's happening. It's happening.
Oh,
I kind of want to move
it
up a little bit. So I'm just going to move the entire frame. It's this one. Boom. Beep. Entire layer. Oh yeah, I can't be in the way of Ryan's frog. This is very important.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be right here. Boom.
Rin and the chat agrees. You didn't.
Oh, sorry, what?
Hey. Rin in the chat agrees and says, yeah, that would be insane. Art is so much trial and error, but we learn from it and adapt our methods. Yeah, absolutely. Love that.
Absolutely. Yes. And Annika, you are like relatively new to making art professionally, right? So, or creating, I guess, a lot. So, do you feel that? Do you feel like the pressure, like, oh, I have to create something that's perfect every time? Or have you leaned into like, it's going to be what it's going to be?
It's kind of both. On the bad days, I feel like, obviously I go through imposter syndrome every once in a while, might I add. But when that happens, that is when I feel like, oh, it's got to be perfect and this should be timed and, all of that. I mean, Absolutely. I should have done this I should have been more efficient. But off late, I've been trying to be more loose with how I create and also how much leeway I give myself. And just to be kind to yourself, I feel like that is basically taking care of your mental health. Not putting pressure on yourself while you're creating and learning. But if you just practice a lot every single day, I feel like it goes away with that. So, I mean, that's just my take on it, which is what I've been doing. I just try to learn a new thing every single day, or maybe have like a goal for the week, and then get on with it.
Get on with it. I like that. I agree. Having some kind of goal can really help so that you're not like just feeling, I don't know, you're feeling too much. Because art is highly emotional. And so anytime that like you create something that you're either proud of or not proud of, it can create a lot of just emotion. And that can have even if you're feeling really good about your art, I know a lot of people who put so much meaning into being good at what they do or whatever, that when they're not, they feel really bad. And so it's just this like, I don't know, you kind of have to hit a medium where it's like, okay, I'm going to allow what happens to happen. I'm going to be proud of myself when I do things that I'm proud of, but also not let that take away from like feeling down in the dumps when I create something that's ugly.
Absolutely. And it's also part of the growth. I think you identifying that it's not as good as you would like it to be is basically you identifying that you're getting better at it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Totally.
Yeah. Again.
I feel it.
Love that. Jake did not see the frog, but now he does. He's really excited about it.
Of course, Jake is very excited about the frog. Let's look at the frog again. It's been a minute since we looked at it, and we can redo this animation in about 5 seconds. So let's see how we feel.
Oh, I did not even notice the little rocks you added up there. That's fun.
Oh yeah, totally. I added rocks yesterday and a ton of like foliage stuff. It's so funny. I should have kept a what do you call it? Like a back to back of what we did yesterday and what we did today because it looks very different. But the frog itself, I think we should redo. It looks a little like it's growing a tumor very quickly. So
no, we don't want that.
I'm thinking we should
Anthony in the chat said the frog was hyperventilating about an hour ago. Yeah. It's back.
Yeah. It's true. There is like oh sorry, go on.
No, is the character bringing a bucket of water to fight the forest fire? Oh my god.
Oh
Ryan.
It's bringing a bucket of water to its frog friends so that carry it home in moisture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's possible.
I'm thinking
anything's
Ponyo
possible.
style.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is very, very bad.
We can make our own headcanon for whatever we want this scene to be. So I've deleted the previous animation, which is very easy, which I'm grateful for. Just forget that. I'm thinking what I might want to do is have one little like and then space. That's what I think.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay,
we're
yeah.
still on grit.
Nope.
My bad.
Oops.
Go to pencil. Just like massive. I also wonder if we should tilt back his head at all, where he's like, and so it's not kind of out. So maybe instead we do use this. I'm going to duplicate this just to make sure that we have. Oh wait, that hotkey doesn't work the same way. I'm going to duplicate the layer so that we have a frog on standby in case I somehow mess with him too much.
Mm-hmm. Philip in the chat has suggestion. Just need to add growths to the left side of the belly.
What is it?
Just need to add some growths to the left side of the frog as well.
Some growths?
I don't know.
Duplicate front.
I don't know. Maybe if you can elaborate, Ryan gets
growth
it.
to the left side of the belly. Okay, you're thinking, it needs to go both ways.
Both ways? I don't know.
I think I get what he's saying. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I think that you're saying just like have it go like parentheses out a little bit.
I think so, yeah.
And then I also want to just a little bit kick up the face. Does that sound weird? Yes. The answer is yes. Okay, we're just gonna tilt it slightly and move it up a little bit. Oh, come on.
Ooh.
Oh, we beheaded the frog. Ah! Oh no!
Oh no!
He croaked. Okay, enough of that fun. And then I'm gonna fill this in and zoop, zoop, zoop. Hopefully, can you guys see what I'm doing? I don't know.
Mm-hmm, we can see it. Yeah.
Zoop. Now it's gigantic on my Cintiq screen. I'm like working on a frog this big. I love it. So we're just gonna fill that in, zip up his little injury here.
Oh, zip it out. Yes. Oh, Kendall in the chat agrees. I think the mouth could also move slightly. Yeah, we just did that. And then everybody's going crazy about the headless frog. But we're back. It's okay now. It's okay now. I know there's a little bit of lag with the chat, so
I know. Okay. I love it.
We fixed it.
Whoops. Didn't mean to scare you there, but that's what we're doing. That's how it's going today.
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna grab this color, go back to our current frame, cover up his little stitch. Oh wait, whoops, I dug into the lighter green for a second. There we go. Gotta go edge to edge. Okay, and then I think what we can do, I'm gonna also do like a little line right here, is just to have duplicates of the frames. So we duplicate a frame and then we drag it over to make it the fourth frame. And then we duplicate the first frame and then we drag it over to make it the fifth frame. That's what I think we're gonna do.
Ryan says he croaked. But croaked. Nice. That's a good one. No tomatoes. Ooh, look at that. I love that. Oh.
What do you think?
I love it. Thank you, Philip. That was a fun suggestion. Yeah. Oh my God, look at the ripples as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Love it.
His the ripples don't quite line up with his croaking, but that would be funny if we could get it perfect. But this ain't about perfection, y'all.
It is about
Okay.
experimentation.
Exactly.
And the process, more like.
I love the process. It's so fun to animate, even if
Mhm.
it's weird. All right.
I feel like if you're having fun creating it, you will learn something for the next one, even if you don't think it's perfect this time. I mean,
Exactly. Yes, I
it's
agree.
about the audience as well. Which brings me to I had this question.
Mhm.
Do you ever create thinking about your audience in the mind? Like, I know you do children's books, but if you were to create for social media, let's say, for instance, let's say you're doing promotional assets for someone and they wanted you to create something in your children's book style,
Yeah.
would you ever think about, like, I mean, how would you approach it? Obviously, you would think about the target audience, but how would you approach that kind of an illustration?
Yeah. I create for clients all the time. And
Hmm.
it's a little bit different when you think about audience, where it's like
Yeah.
if you're, say, creating just for like Instagram or something like that, it's a little bit different. And
Yeah.
I don't like that as much as I like creating for clients personally.
Of course. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And for the client kind of thing, I definitely talk to them about what they like, what they
Hmm.
want, what they envision, because I think that collaborative efforts are wonderful. And I
Yeah.
really like coming with one person coming to a consensus about an idea,
Hmm.
brainstorming with someone who's really open about just like creating the best thing we can together is one of those moments of like sparking brain where it just feels
Yeah.
right and it feels good. It's the
Hmm.
same thing with just collaborating without it being a client. It just feels great to brainstorm with someone and feel like, and we add this, and it could be like this. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
what if
the
they did this?
magic. Yeah, I love that.
Which is another thing that I wanted to touch on with that is creating what you love for your portfolio. We talked a little bit
Hmm.
about portfolio yesterday, but it was more of a technical aspect about like how to get
Yeah.
hired at a video game studio.
Hmm.
And I think the most important thing that I've come across for at least my stage in my career, I know there are many different stages where you're just trying to find work, any work, like get you in a paid position.
Yeah.
But at my point, I definitely think it's most important to put what you love in your portfolio and
Yep.
make sure that it speaks to what you want to make more of. Because if,
Absolutely.
say, a client came to me and they were like, I just want to do trucks and like
Oh
robots
no.
and like I'm like, that's awesome, and like I'm into trucks and robots, I am so down for that, but drawing them is not really my bag. Like,
Yeah.
I am not necessarily the person you come to for that, and that's something that you have to accept as an artist, that you're not going to be the one to come to for every single subject matter. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
finding something that really makes you happy when you make it
Hmm.
is, I think, one of the most important things to have in your portfolio. Something that makes your heart sing.
Love it. Yeah, absolutely. I agree to that 100%.
What do you
I love
think?
it.
If you were to answer that same question, what would you say?
I also am not a big fan of creating social media assets. I mean, I do
Mm-hmm.
that for my own social media from time to time just because I'm excited about what I'm doing and
Yeah.
I want to share it with everyone. I mean, when I stream on my Behance, I make a video of myself talking to the camera and I feel that is really weird. Even though I live stream
You're
and
like,
that's like a, yeah. But I enjoy sharing it, so I'm like, okay, let's just make something fun, and that way I use it again, I use it to learn something about the animation. Like, for instance, something that I did today, because we were talking about it earlier, I made stars and I did not know how to make them sparkle, and I looked up a
yeah.
star animation. I'm like, okay, maybe I could just make them pop in a way that, and so that's something new that I learned today, and I wouldn't have if I did not think about making a promotional asset. So I think that's how my approach is. But I kind of um, also don't like creating something only for social media. I mean, yeah, it's kind of pointless if it doesn't have like a goal behind it.
It doesn't have a goal, and also if you're thinking too much in that area of like, oh, I
Yeah,
can't make something unless somebody else is going to like it, that's like the ending
absolutely.
of
Yeah,
creativity.
absolutely. And I mean, it's definitely a different thing if it's like a brand and they want like strategy and they have a set goal in mind, which are different goals. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking in terms of personal. personal goals and personal social media. And yeah,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of messages I'm missing in chat. But I will get to them. Don't worry, you guys.
I don't worry. It's all good.
Love it.
By the way, I'm just filling in with. Oh wow, am I on the same thing? All right, I'm filling in the rough animation that we created earlier with the dragon like. I'm going to just soften it up with the graphite brush. I do like that actually for this this particular asset in this animation because I want it to have a little bit of a softer edge. I think that that's a good thing for a shadow, especially if you're thinking this thing's however high up, it's not going to be a crisp shadow. So yeah, I want to make it a little bit softer and then start finagling this to feel a little bit more like how I imagined it.
Love it. Yeah. Yay. All right. So once we're done with the dragon, we are almost at the artist spotlight mark. So we'll jump into that real quick. But yeah, let me know when you're done and we can hop into the artist for today.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm gonna finish up this little thingy. Just make sure this is filled. Here we can. Whoa, this is the middle of animation, friends. But the cool thing is also you can turn off different layers, so you don't have to see that craziness. So here are the two frames so far. I'm definitely gonna keep finagling with them. I also want to test if it goes by all together, like it has its entire body go on and off frame, if that will feel too fast, so that we can play with afterward. But for now, it's time for artist spotlight. Time for artist spotlight. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Who's the artist for today? Let's look at it. Artist? It's Odari.
Hey, Odari. Hi. What's up? You're in the chat. Hey. Everyone give a follow to Odari. Odari Yohanes is also a Behance live streamer. I'm really excited for today's artist because Odari does some really amazing vector work and also traditional work, which is so exciting. There are not a lot of streamers on Behance who do like traditional artwork. I know you do it a lot of times with gouache and watercolors, but Odari recently did like I think it's pens. I'm not sure what it was, but you can tell us in the chat. Hey, what? Amazing.
Absolutely. And also I see a subscription over here for Odari. Ooh, you get some source files, premium live streams, premium projects. Definitely check out the subscriptions. And absolutely. Let's check out some of Odari's work.
Let's do it.
Hey, I recognize Cloudy.
Oh man, I love this one. I saw this when Odari was working on it on a live stream, and the amount of detail in the hair is mind-blowing to me.
Yes, look at this hair.
I think there's a stream replay that you can go back and watch if you go to Odari's live stream stuff. But that likeness is something else. I mean,
absolutely. You guys should know, if you've ever done a portrait, it's so hard to make it look like the actual person. And this is her. I mean, it's perfect. Oh my gosh! Oh my God. Wonder Woman.
Oh, what? Love that.
That is so.
Have you shared this with Claudia yet? Because she needs to know.
Absolutely. What? Oh yeah, and then there's a link to the streams. This is so convenient. Yes. Oh, I love it.
Yes, call to action. Oh my God, love that. Yes.
Oh, that's so lovely. Odari, we love to see it. All right, let's check out Vector Vigilante Premium subscription. Oh, this is the subscription stuff. Oh yes. This is awesome. Join my creative voyage of character design using vector brushes in Adobe Fresco. Hey, check it out.
What?
Yeah, we didn't even touch on that Fresco has the vector brushes, but
absolutely.
This is so cool.
Now we did. Thank you, Odari.
Exactly. And speaking of creating promotional material, this is all like hand touched by Odari. You can tell it's like not just like, oh, hey, here's the thing. Absolutely. It's like thought and effort was put into it.
Love it.
The Odari.
Oh, the Odari-Lorian.
Odari-Lorian. Okay, I'm like
it's a Star Wars Mandalorian, Odari-Lorian inspired. Exactly. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm gonna say that and put it out there. But I'm a Trekkie. But
all right, I vote for Annika.
I still love your work.
Voodoo Val fight in the ring.
Oh no! Don't, please, no.
Oh man, this is so cool.
I
Oh,
love that. You know how there's like this thing in the background, which is almost like a watermark, but it's actually Odari's logo. I think that's his logo,
no
which,
way.
yeah, it looks so fun. And I love that it's all in all different colors because it actually goes with the style of the illustration and the colors in the different,
Absolutely.
the costumes. That also looks fun.
Yeah, and it matches them. It feels like it's part of the world, and also the, like, I don't know, the way that you've used it, Odari. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
Odari's in the chat. Hello. Ah, I see.
Odari is in the chat. This is
Yes,
the way.
this is the way. It feels very intentional and like a cohesive grouping of images where it
Mhm.
all comes together, not only because of the designs, but because of that mark. So cool. So dang cool.
Love it. I
A
also
series of
love that
portraits.
I love the project presentation as well in terms of like the color choices because it matches the color of the poster backgrounds that you have. So it kind of makes it look more cohesive as well, which is
Absolutely.
also a fun addition.
Ooh,
Look at
you can see
that.
the process.
Oh
That's so cool.
man.
From sketch
Wow.
all the way to paint.
Can you zoom in on one of those? Is that an
Zoop.
option? Oh yeah, we can.
Ah!
Oh,
Ooh,
what?
so cool.
I love that. I always forget documenting my process at like different steps of the way. And this is
Yeah,
so inspiring because you remembered to do this.
absolutely. Yeah,
What?
just remembering. Kudos to you. Good job. Oh my gosh. Oh, these are so cool. Man. All right, Odari, I have a question. Where do you get your inspiration for these different characters?
Star Wars.
I mean, yeah, but like
And also real
individually,
life
I
people.
wonder.
I feel like I know Odari made like a portrait inspired by Wade as well,
Oh,
which is
really?
also Wade and his cats. There's Claudie, there's Wade. I don't think the Wade one is uploaded yet, but he did work on his live stream. So that was really fun. So I feel like
I need that.
having what I think and my interpretation is basically having all kinds of things inspire you. So like just observe and like the people who inspire you as well. That's which is very fun. I love that.
Absolutely. I
But
love it.
yes, do
Oh,
tell
and one more.
us.
Here we got the more Star Wars loveliness.
Ooh, what is that? The Scully project? It is.
Look at that. Oh,
Oh
I
my
love it.
god, look at the detail on that.
Oh yeah, Beetlejuice.
Oh, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Oh my gosh. And then there's suddenly a cameo of Beetlejuice behind Danica. How amazing
Oh
would that
man.
be? Oh, Fred Flintstone. Very nice.
Oh my god, I love that.
Oh,
Scully, Fred Flintstone.
yeah. Oh, hey, you said
Nice.
you're a Trekkie.
Oh, nice. Oh, there's a cloudy one there as well. Oh man, this is the way. This is the way now. Now we're talking.
I love it. Oh my gosh. So definitely check out Odari's work.
Oh, there's a
This is
Sonic one as
amazing.
well. What?
Wait, Sonic?
Nice.
Where? Oh yeah, Sonic. Gotta go fast to the grave.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
Oh, there's so many. Oh, great pop culture references, by the way. But yeah, definitely give Odari a follow. Boop. Oh wait, oh, did I do it? Boom. I can't believe I
Love
wasn't
it.
following before, but this is how it happens. Everybody,
How
go on
could you?
home.
But yeah, everyone, please follow Odari. He's at be.net/Odari art, which is also in the chat. But if you're watching this on replay, you can see it on the screen at the little URL. Make sure to follow Odari. And if you would like to support the creators, make sure to give them a subscription. I know Anna, you also had a subscription, or is
Yeah.
that just Patreon now?
Yeah, now I've switched over to Patreon. We were creating a podcast, which was really
Mhm.
fun. That was Anthony and I, and we are going to, I believe, slowly release the episodes. We've talked to all of the patrons and decided like they're okay with it being shared. And we have so many fun episodes that we did, and we loved the subscription service and everything about it. It was just a lot of work at one time because I had two books
Absolutely.
that I was working on, and it's like overlapping too many things. But
Mhm.
I would highly suggest, if you want to start a subscription, get on that, and also support other creators, because this is a really awesome opportunity that Behance is giving us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, love that. And Odari, again, thank you for sharing your work with us. And if you guys want to nominate yourself or another creative that you really admire the work of, make sure to go to the Artist Spotlight tab right above here. Here. It's right above chat. It's called Artist Spotlight. Make sure to put in their URL, and we will be sure to highlight them in one of the future streams. And
Absolutely.
now back to Anna's screen right over here. Here.
Whoop, whoop,
Yes,
whoop.
here.
Here. I like that. Desperately trying to find the right place to poke.
Yep.
Which
Always
one?
a struggle.
Always. All right. So I want to test real quick if we can get a fast dragon on and off the screen. If it looks crazy, which I'm guessing it will, we'll have fun doing it. Okay? It's fine.
Yes.
So I think I'm just going to set this guy to multiply. Hey, that's a rhyme. Beep. And put it down at like, I don't know. We did 90 before. Let's do 90 again. I think I'll use a little bit lighter of a blue though. So that this is another way to control it. It's so funny, but like with multiply, you can do opacity change and or you can just change the color. The lighter it is, the lighter it will be. Imagine that.
So I missed that. Did you say 90% opacity was the layer opacity that you were working on?
Indeed, yes.
Okay, good.
Beep. Okay, so that actually, my first layer or frame is going to be blank. I keep on saying layer and frame interchangeably. I mean frame when I'm animating. So first one, blank. Second one, something. Actually, we might need it to extend even more inside because it's going to go so fast. So what we're going to do is like zoop for the next one. Zoop, zoop.
Zoop.
Yeah, we've got to make
boop
sound
in
effects
there
again.
as well.
Say again?
Are we going to get a boop in there as well? Because zoop is a Paul Trani thing and boop is a Howard Tinsky thing. Are we adding all those sound effects today? Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Thank you so much for the references. I wouldn't get 10 of them without you, Annika.
Oh man, I'm so honored to be hosting you today. This is so much fun and also super inspiring. Did I say that already? Yeah, kind of. But still,
everybody animate. All right, here we go. So this is, we're already at frame 5. How is this gonna work? Oh no. Okay, selected frame. I'm gonna
trust the process.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna look goofy. I can't wait. This is another wonderful thing that I feel like we forget too often about like art and animation in particular is we should make goofy stuff happen. Okay, it doesn't always have to be like, it's this beautiful elegant thing. It can be silly looking. So what we're gonna do is make something silly. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought, actually.
Oh, it looks fun. It kind of looks like a ghost though, I'm not gonna lie.
Woo! Well, we can change the shape of it
Halloween
for sure.
vibes.
I was just wondering about the movement, if it would feel
the movement looks pretty cool. The movement looks pretty cool. I love the movement.
I was thinking it would be way too fast and be like so at least it's not
it actually does. I love that it stays in the middle, like in the third frame. Kind of really captures the direction, the paths that we were talking about earlier. But,
absolutely. We might even speed up the beginning of it where it's like further in at the first frame. I don't know.
Love it.
But we can make it whatever shape we want. So we can make this into like a silhouette sideways of a dragony kind of figure, or it could be like from top down kind of aerial silhouette. We can make it birds. We can make it anything we want.
Burbs. Yes, burbs. Yes to burbs. I know you mentioned like goofy illustrations. You know Hayden Patterson, right? Hayden Patterson is a friend of the streams, also Behance live streamer and animator. Absolutely. But he recommended another animator called Hake Mannequin, who's also on Instagram at Hake_animation. And they do some really fun, goofy characters and animate them. And it's all frame by frame done in, I think, Toon Boom Harmony, which is another animating tool. Animation tool. How do you say it? What are words? But if you guys want to check that out, they're just a huge inspiration and also super fun. I'm gonna put that in the chat just in case.
Absolutely.
Anyone
thank you for that.
Wants to check it out. Wrong keyboard. Sorry.
Up. I was thinking also, what if we had silhouettes of two birds flying in from each side and then hitting each other and then dropping? I don't know. Weird ideas come to you in the middle of a stream.
Oh, I love that.
But yeah, I'm wondering. Friend of the streams, Ryan says. Just friend of the streams. Don't you know, Ryan? You can be friendly on streams.
Yep.
Also, apparently there was something that happened earlier in the chat with Ryan's. Was it the keyboard got clicked somewhere?
It was a cat. It was Roscoe.
It was Roscoe. It really was. I thought that was a joke where they were like, "Oh, it was Roscoe, isn't it?" It's like, no, it's really the kitten. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad, Ryan. Oh. Okay, let's see here. Instead of making it just a squiggle, let's do some carving in here and make it more of a shape of some sort. I don't know what shape. Wow, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but
a dragony shape.
Yes, dragony shape. Easier said than done.
Oh, look at that. Nice. It kind of looks like a unicorn with the poking.
I like it. Oh, unicorns are awesome. What was I thinking? Oh, I was thinking of
a dragony shape.
Have you seen? Yeah, I was thinking of dragony shapes. Have you seen Spirited Away?
I haven't. Oh my god, no. Randall has recommended me to watch it, and it's on my list for so long that I'm embarrassed now. But yeah, let's just pretend that I have seen it. But I also
you totally love it. Yeah.
Well, I love it.
An excellent dragon design in that movie. That is very it's like a snake-like body with little legs, kind of like, I'd say lizardy, and then almost like a doggy kind of snoot. Any sense? But yeah, that kind of idea is what I think my ideal dragon design is. There are plenty of dragons that are like, they have big wings and they have different, I don't know, animal attributes to them and things like that. But I really like the long-bodied ones personally. But that's just my opinion, man. So if you want to make your own dragon, you make your own dragon. Also, Falcor, the luck dragon from Neverending Story. That's another really great design, I'd say.
Love it. Yeah. Ryan speaking. If you've seen Ryan, no. Okay. Thanks.
And Anthony says, no Breath of the Wild either. Add that to Annika's list of sins. The sin list has
all
grown.
in due time. All in due time. Hey.
Yeah, not everybody can have the exact same experiences as everybody else. So
absolutely. Yeah. Hey.
But I do, whenever I hear stuff like that, like, oh, I haven't seen this, that, or the other thing, it makes me so excited for you, because the moment that you experience these things, I know you're just going to be like, it's so good.
What have I been missing all this while?
Yes. Spirited Away is my hands down favorite film, and Breath of the Wild is hands down my favorite video game. So the second that you experience either or, I feel like something's it will make you feel things. Even if it's not your favorite, it's just like it's so good.
Love it. Okay, got it. I'm gonna add that to my list of things to watch ASAP, just in case.
Do you have a favorite movie or video game?
I don't think so.
What? What? Just like no? Just straight up like nah?
There's too many good ones to have a favorite, is what I'm gonna say.
Okay. Annika doesn't watch movies.
That is not true. But let's just go with that. Let's go with that.
When you watch.
I don't know. What are we doing here again?
Talking about how much you need to watch movies. And
oh man, definitely yes.
I'm sure you've gotten enough green.
I think there's too less time to do a lot of things that you want to do sometimes, and then I'm like, should I really? But kind of yes. Maybe.
Okay, we've got 2 shapes down ish. Beep, bop, boop.
Oh, I love that it has like ears now. Are those ears?
gotta have ears. Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
okay. Yes. Okay. Yes.
We could also add like, I don't know, horns, but I don't know how well that would read. Like that. There's a dragon in Breath of the Wild called Dinral who has really cool curly horns that come out. So this could be kind of
Let me
Dinral
Google that
inspired.
real quick.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. I love people seeing the dragons up close and from afar in the game are very different things. So like seeing an image of it, you'd be like, oh, and then like seeing it in game, you're like, wow.
Oh, what? I love this. These are all like fire looking. What?
Yeah, they're
Nice.
elemental. They're so cool.
Nice. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh man.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, they're like long snaky bodies. I think they have like 6 legs or something like that. So they're much longer than this guy. But he's just a little baby dragon. So ain't that just the way?
I see the 6 legs. I have the reference now.
Yes. You understand.
I do now. Yes. I should have Googled it before saying that I haven't seen it or played it. But yeah, of course I did. What? I also love that these colors. I see the inspiration of the greens as well, like the scaly body. Kind of matches the foliage colors as well, which is super fun.
Ooh, I like that.
Hey.
Didn't even need to. Bop. And we'll see if this like reads as really anything. I think that honestly, when an animation like this goes by pretty quickly, it doesn't have to be super exact, but we'll see how it reads. Does it need like back legs of some sort? Just silly little blobs.
Some sort. Oh, I love that.
You know.
I love that you use the eraser tool to just kind of make it read more like a back leg, hind leg.
Yeah, and this one I'm using the tilde key on the keyboard, which is the below the escape key, the little swirl. It's a little dragon.
The little dragon.
Yes, and it acts like yesterday we had the, what did you call it? It was like a touch
modifier.
Touch modifier. That is on the iPad version of Fresco. It has the ability to use the brush as the eraser when you press the touch modifier, and it's doing the exact same thing on the desktop version by pressing the tilde key. So I'm using this graphite brush and I'm painting, and then I erase out with the exact same brush, so it gets that kind of same texture, and it works seamlessly. I think it's a really intuitive way to paint, so I enjoy it.
Love it. Yeah, Wade in the chat says small noodle. Yes. I know there are some keyboards that don't have the tilde key, but there is like right above the tab key, there is like a different key on like I think German keyboards and also some different keyboards.
Oh really? I didn't know that there was a lack of tilde in the world.
Yeah, there are some keyboards that do not have the. Typically, it's like universally applicable to like US keyboards that you get, but you do not have that on some keyboards. I'm not sure what keyboards there are, but anything above your tab key should work. But also you can set up shortcuts, so make sure to check those out.
Definitely do. Thank you so much for that, because I know our international audience, I'd be really sad if I like let them astray. Like, oh yeah, it's just this easy key, and they're like,
you said there would be tilde key. No, it doesn't work.
Why, you liar? Exactly. Last thing we want to do is lie to people about Fresco. That's akin to sin. Whoa.
Oh, wow. Look at that. What? That looks amazing. I love the little hind legs. What?
The little hind legs are like, ooh. Yeah, let's see what it looks like zoomed out a little bit. Zoop. Play.
Oh man, this looks amazing. I love the little moths. They add a lot of character to it.
Definitely. And we can always add more moths is the fun thing, where it's just like, oh yeah, you could just keep doing that. Like this is just going to be a moth piece by the end. It's just a gaggle of moths going wah. But yeah,
holding
that
moth
is
foliage.
Yeah. It's such a fun thing to just add those little bits, and then it is like looking at a forest where you're like, mostly it's still, maybe if the wind comes it's like a lot of motion amongst the leaves and everything, but the second you have a squirrel, a moth, a bird or something, it suddenly feels so much more full of life and just like interesting to look at. You're like, because our eyes are trained to find motion basically, so the second you add motion to an illustration, it can really change the the feel that people get from it,
Absolutely.
and how much attention they pay to it. Especially in
Yeah.
this day of social media where like everybody scrolls and sees an image for like 10 seconds or something. It's ridiculous.
Not even 10.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just
Not
super
even 10
fast.
seconds. Absolutely. Wade in the chat brings up a really good point, and Wade says that last he checked, there wasn't a way to set the tilde key function as a hotkey, but he hasn't
Oh.
checked in a while. Maybe there is what I meant by adding shortcuts and like using your own keys for shortcuts is basically that you can set any shortcuts that you want and modify it according to what you would like. Let's say you're in Photoshop or Illustrator, or even in, I'm not sure if it's on the Fresco for desktop. But there is, if you go to helpx for Adobe Fresco, you will find a list of keyboard shortcuts if you have like a keyboard attached to your iPad as well, which I do. So I personally use it with the iPad as well. And it's really handy to use those with like adding new layers and such. So yeah, you can not just use the tilde, but maybe attach a different key for
Definitely.
using the brush to clear mode.
Handy dandy.
But yeah, hey, yeah, definitely.
I wanted
Handy
to-
erase. All right, I think we are almost at the end of the stream. Unfortunately, time flew by just like this little dragon.
Cute.
But Anna, do you maybe want to give a quick recap of what we did on the 2 days so that the people who did not watch this or could not watch this on the live stream could watch the replay and get some of that Anna action?
Get that Anna action. Absolutely.
Animation.
Yes. Yeah, the animation. So on day one, we painted this piece. It wasn't the complete one, but last night fixed up some of the foliage so you could see like the beginning of the process, the direction I was going. And then today we had this illustration that we wanted to add a little bit more life to. And so we brought it into Fresco and used the animation tools to just, or I should say motion tools to bring it to life, give it motion. We made water ripples. We made a frog croak. We, or ribbit, I don't know. Croak is the connotation. But anyways, we used paths to make multiple moths fly around. We used just straight up frame animation and the multiply blend mode to create the shadow of a dragon passing overhead that our character is looking up at like, oh, what? And then we also use paths to move just ever so slightly our clouds to really make it look like we have sky reflecting in the creek and all sorts of life abounding around.
Love that. Yeah. I want to say thanks, Anna, for the amazing 2 days. And thanks everyone for joining us today. Stick around for the Illustrator Daily Creator Challenge right after us with Jack Watson. But bye for now.
See ya. Thank you.